violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, cyberspace? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Former NOPD officer and a little girl bonded for life when he was the first to arrive on the scene of a street violence. And now in his crime-fighting job thousands of miles away, he's hoping with your help to make her Christmas very special. Meg Ferris has an update on Chloe's story.
Come on.
Wow.
For a couple of years, Chloe Williams has touched hearts. The victim of stray bullets in a drive-by shooting at only 7 changed life for her.
Stray bullets from a drive-by shooting at the age of 7. Paralyzed. And she's not the only one. This is a woman now, or a young girl rather. Obviously being raised by a single mom. And it's tough. You got a handicapped kid that you're gonna have to take care of for arguably the rest of her life, all because they cross paths with a super gremlin on Demon Time.
Her and mom, Laranisha. They're forever grateful to NOPD officer Daniel McCreary. He used a survival kit, a Christmas gift, and his military skills to save her life.
Oh, wow. Really? So they're grateful that the slave catcher actually ended up saving this girl's life. Wow. This is crazy. Who would have thought? And you see, a lot of these sisters have smoke for these police officers until something happens directly to them. And then they're, thanking the police just like everybody else does. Just like the rest of the country does. Okay? It's ridiculous.
A year later, he flew in from his home near Seattle just to be with her at a celebration of life.
And he left New Orleans. He went to Seattle. Which, I mean, it's better than New Orleans for sure, but they're woke up there as well. But he would rather go up there than serve the city of New Orleans anymore. And this is a good cop. A lot of the good cops are leaving. Thanks to the leadership of a sister mayor in LaToya Cantrell.
Laranisha and Chloe are always strong, positive, and joking. But today, mom shows us a side of life after violence, one she usually keeps private.
She's in pain every day, 10 out of 10. And I need them to find the person who did it to my baby at this point. I need answers.
And that's the worst part. In the community, whoever did this is walking around. They probably crossed paths with this individual and didn't even know it. These super stealthy gremlins are on Demon Time.
Because people was living their lives fine while we're struggling over here. I don't even know where to turn, what to do.
It's not often, but at times, even always happy Chloe shows the burden, like one day after dance class.
And then when she got out of practice, she just was crying because she's like, I can't flip. They doing cartwheels and I can't do this and that.
Every time I go to one of these scenes, they stick with me for the rest of my life, especially Chloe. So I think about her every single day.
And this is who we're trying to defund. The people protecting us, that's who we're trying to defund. Okay? Want y'all to understand that nobody has our backs like these officers out here who are serving the community every single day. There's nobody else who has our backs like they do. Even when they may look upset arriving to these scenes, because what y'all doing in these streets is gruesome. It's hard to keep your happiness, your sanity when you're seeing so much evil in the community. They dress up, put the badge on, put the gun on the hip, and they go to work every day, and y'all making a job even harder.
Every single day.
Detective McCreary is now with the Buren Police Department, part of the King County Sheriff's Office near Seattle. 2,600 miles away, his new fellow officers and the Seattle South Side Chamber decided to help.
He told us to start, and it touched our heart, and we wanted to support Dan and Chloe and the family.
Giving them just a little bit of joy and hope during the holidays, just to see them smile is a gift for all of us.
They hope to raise enough money to fly Chloe and Loranisha to Seattle for Shop with a Cop. Every Christmas, they give dozens of children who've been through adversity money for a shopping spree. It'll be the first time a child from out of town is part of the adventure.
I'd like for them both to just get out of the city of New Orleans.
Yeah, he said, get out while you still can. If you're still in New Orleans, you might die there in real soon. And I'm not just saying that. Murder capital of the U.S. right now. Number one.
Obviously, I want to see them all. Flood her with as much love and toys as we can.
So now she's really about to get on the plane to go somewhere for the first time, like woke. And this a big thing for real. And it got me so emotional. Like, it's a big thing.
And well-deserved. Meg Farris, Eyewitness News.
Well, we know we all want to help Chloe. We have a link to help Shop with a Cop with this story on WWLTV.com.
Kim Holden, Kermit Ruffins' fiance, and their newborn daughter are both recovering in the hospital following Thursday's shooting.
Doctors had to perform an emergency C-section and remove bullet fragments from the infant's body. Tonight, Ruffins is demanding accountability. Andres Fuentes has the story.
All right, guys. So I did want to remind you about the Kermit Ruffins story that happened in New Orleans early this year or late last year, something around that time. We covered this story, and it was very sad. The Kermit Ruffins' baby mother was actually shot, and she had to have an emergency C-section to deliver the child. And there are updates in the child's condition, and we're going to let Fox 8 brief us on what's going on.
Monday at the mother-in-law lounge was quiet for the fourth day in a row. Not much activity has happened at the venue since owner Kermit Ruffins has been tending to a traumatic shooting against his pregnant fiancée, Harmonize.
We just need those kids to turn themselves in and do the right thing.
New Orleans police say the shooting happened Thursday evening. Ruffins says his fiancée was on the phone outside at the time.
And all of a sudden she felt something hit her stomach. She didn't hear anything. There is a witness, thank God, that said he heard the shot and saw a blue Malibu car sped away after the shot.
The musician says detectives think the shooting may have been an accidental discharge from the car, one that led to an emergency C-section at Children's Hospital. Ruffin says 3 fragments were removed from his baby daughter.
The doctor said she's in good spirits, the baby's smiling.
Dang, and the baby had bullet fragments removed. So the bullets definitely hit the child. Boy, I tell you what, man, these super gremlins are ruthless. There is a demonic spirit going around, and it's almost uncontrollable at this point.
So that's a plus for us. I mean, breathing on our own, not hooked up to any machine or anything. And Harmonies is up and moving after that.
The shooting comes during a dramatic spike in crime across New Orleans. The Metropolitan Crime Commission says that there's been a 148% increase compared to this time in 2019. However, Ruffins believes it's a small group of people causing the crime wave.
It's not the majority of our kids, even though they're getting the most attention. I don't think nothing we can do to get through to those kids that's already gone.
You heard him. And this is Kermit Ruffin, famous jazz and blues player, you know, black business owner. He said there ain't nothing you can do for them kids that are already gone. nothing. My man said no solutions.
Only thing could help is jail. Jail or the graveyard.
Well,
Yep, jail or hell, like your grandmama used to say. Fry 'em.
the NOPD continues investigating the case. The musician continues to cater to his newborn and his fiance, while pleading for the people involved in the shooting to turn themselves in.
I just can't wait to see the face but behind this senseless thing.
Reporting in Tremay, Andres Fuentes, Fox 8, Local First.
Ruffin says he and his fiancée have not decided on a first name for the baby yet, but her middle name will be Kentaji, after Kentaji Brown Jackson, the nominee for the U.S. Supreme.
Oh, Lord. Then they went woke with the baby's name. They don't get it, man. They don't get it, and they never will.
Supreme Court.
Trumpeter Kermit Ruffins is speaking out about a shooting which wounded his girlfriend when she was pregnant and wounded the unborn baby.
Blossom is now 6 months old. Doctors at Children's Hospital say she may be paralyzed because of the shooting while she was still in her mother's womb.
Wow.
WGNO's Kenny Lopez joins us now with details.
So we have two paralyzed young black girls. Two paralyzed young black girls in the city of New Orleans, all within a 6-month span, 6 to 12 month span. One was 7 years old when she was paralyzed. One was a clump of cells, as they would like to call it. Okay? So the baby wasn't even born yet, and already is paralyzed by the hands of these super gremlins on demon time.
That's right, Kern and Susie. Getting to meet Kermit Ruffins' daughter, Blossom, you see her behind me. First thing I noticed, she was precious, happy, and this little bundle of joy, she's a little fighter. She fought after surviving bullets, which hit her in her spinal cord and left bullet fragments in her liver. Blossom's mother and Kermit Ruffins' girlfriend, Harmonice Pleasant, were both hit by stray bullets after a shooting in front of her house in the Tremay back in March, all while she was 9 months pregnant with baby Blossom. Both mom and baby were injured and rushed to the hospital. Doctors were able to save Blossom, but now 6 months later, doctors are giving the baby physical therapy and say she could be paralyzed from the waist down and won't be able to walk when she gets older.
Wow, man. That's heartbreaking. Man, just wow. Look, man. That's the worst thing as a parent that you could hear. The baby looks so precious. Wow, man.
Unless a miracle happens, you know. So we're just hanging in there and doing what we could do at this moment in time, because we just don't know until she gets older whether she'll be able to sit up or even walk or anything. So we just like hurry up and wait.
Kermit says his little girl is already drawn to microphones, and no doubt about it, you can count on her being on stage with him when she's 8 years old, performing with Dad at Jazz Fest. Blossom will continue physical therapy at Children's Hospital, and the Ruffins family has now set up a GoFundMe account to help with those expensive medical bills. We'll have that link on our website, WGNO.com.
All right, thank you, Kenny.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
New Orleans musician Kermit Ruffins' baby girl was born with a spinal cord injury at birth after becoming a victim of gun violence.
Little Blossom's mom was shot in March while she was pregnant. She had to have an emergency C-section. Natasha Robin has the story.
Oh, you're excited. Okay.
Want some more of the apple?
Little Blossom's already the apple of her daddy's eye. Kermit Ruffins says he feels blessed that his baby girl and her mom are alive. Blossom's mom, Harmonice, was pregnant when she was shot back in March.
She decided to walk, and before you know it, she felt a pain in her stomach. Couldn't realize it was a gunshot wound.
And I looked down and I was bleeding. There was blood everywhere.
Harmonice was rushed to the hospital, and once there, doctors performed an emergency C-section.
They had to take the baby, bring the children's hospital. And
I mean, these super gremlins just shattered this family. Just shattered the family. This one is really deep, y'all. It goes so deep. It's uncomfortable to talk about. It's tragedy. It's something that the community is, I don't think, taking seriously enough. So we need to have these discussions. We need to have these round tables, because this does not happen in other communities. It just doesn't. Show me where.
Here we are 6 months later.
Now you wanna smile?
Little Blossom suffered a spinal cord injury from the shooting, currently paralyzing her from her belly button down. She still has bullet fragments in her kidney.
We're just in a predicament that we just never thought would happen. Like I said, we must have been really too happy, or something that's sad to happen to our family. And then,
nah, man, it's just being in the vicinity of these super gremlins post the BLM riots. Okay, post all that corruption, after criminal justice reform, after the defund the police movement. It's not that, you know, you're receiving a curse or backlash from being so happy and being in a loving relationship. It's your location. It's your proximity to these super gremlins on demon time.
To Harmonice and the baby, I mean, Blossom saved Harmonice's life. Because if the bullet hit her stomach, then hit the baby's spine, if the baby wasn't there, Harmonice wouldn't have made it.
Hey. Wow.
They say Blossom, though, is showing signs of progress, with a little movement of her toes every once in a while. But only time will tell what the future holds.
We're just blessed to wake up every morning and taking the mindset of, let's make the decision to be happy.
Look at this girl. Oh my God, really, Blossom?
But he says the hospital bills are mounting, and the Ruffins family started a GoFundMe account to help cover their hospital bills.
I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that helped so far. I mean, any little thing always helps when it comes down to money, because my profession is not going to let me be able to afford which is coming to us.
Yeah, and that's an issue as well. You know, jazz, blues, that used to be a leading genre in the community, and then hip hop took over, and we see the results we're getting from that. You know, maybe if we emphasize this genre more, then people who at least have their head on straight would be the leaders in the community, rather than these super rapping gremlins on demon time.
Said she's making progress, but of course it's still a long road, you know, considering everything.
Ruffins and his family have suffered a lot over the years because of violence in New Orleans.
My little niece, Milan, I mean, that happened some years ago, and now same thing with Harmonice and the baby. I mean, we could be telling a different story right now. I mean, we're alive. They're alive, thank God.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, should have left New Orleans. I mean, it's really not worth it.
Hey.
I'll make sure she's playing trumpet, guitar, piano, just everything. Everything. You'll see her on stage about 8 years old.
Ruffins and Harmony say they'll stay focused on Blossom now, never losing hope for her future.
Give me a kiss.
Natasha Robin, Fox 8, Local First.
Yes, girl.
Kermit Ruffins is a proud papa.
She wakes up with the biggest smile ever. I don't know if because I'm so ugly or what. She looks at me and just has this big smile where her cheeks just swells up every morning.
The popular New Orleans trumpeter and entertainer almost lost baby Blossom before she was even born. In March, someone shot his girlfriend, Harmony Pleasant, who was 9 months pregnant with Blossom at the time, in front of her home in Treme.
And guys, even with this story is so powerful. Obviously, it's going to be suppressed, so make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. So powerful, but even with that, even with 7-year-old girls being shot and paralyzed, infants being shot and paralyzed, there will be no change within the attitude of the diaspora. There will be no change. Okay? This is something that we have to come to terms with. That the whole way, our whole way of thinking is completely backwards. Priorities completely backwards. And like I said, if we don't get a hold on this stuff, it's gonna end badly. It really is. And I'm not looking forward to that day to come.
They were both seriously injured. Blossom was born in the hospital after the shooting.
In the beginning, it was so hurtful. It was so heartbreaking when they called, and I'm in the hospital myself trying to recover myself, and they're like, yeah, she probably won't be able to walk.
A bullet hit Blossom's spinal cord. She still has bullet fragments in her liver.
We are blessed that we can wake up to a beautiful day like today and have this smiling baby, and because the outcome could have been way different.
Blossom has a long road to go to recover from her injuries.
The last time we went to the doctor and they did like a little update, he was basically like, well, she's making progress. I honestly didn't think she would, be able to move her toes like she's moving or move her legs like she's moving.
While Blossom is responding well to physical therapy, Ruffins and Pleasant say doctors won't know for sure the full extent of her injuries or whether she'll be able to walk until she gets a little older.
We're hoping that.
And the worst part about this whole thing is you can bet your bottom dollar that they were all for the BLM movement. They were all for the defund the police movement. They were all for it. And unfortunately, it's like we can probably assume that they voted for these soft on crime policies, which has completely opened the floodgates for these super gremlins on demon time.
More positive results, but it's a lot. Hey!
She'll be playing trumpet, piano, guitar. Look for her on stage in about 8 years.
There's now a GoFundMe page set up to help Blossom's mounting medical bills.
It's going to be a big help, I know that. And the fans, I just like to thank them for their blessings and all the support that they given us so far.
Blossom's parents are also working to build a home that will have everything she's going to need in the future.
Everybody loved Blossom to death. She's well loved. She's going to live a beautiful life, no matter what.
Paul Murphy,
I mean, y'all better get her up out of New Orleans. That's all I'll say. Get her up out of New Orleans. It's not getting better. It's only going to get worse. Please get y'all and that baby out of New Orleans. I'm telling you right now, God forbid something happens again to this family. They've been through enough. But I want to see them get out of New Orleans. I want to see them pay off their medical bills. I want to see y'all hit that GoFundMe.
Think she's going to need in the future.
Everybody loved Blossom to death. She's well loved. She's going to live a beautiful life, no matter what.
Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
So guys, like I said, like the video, share the video, subscribe, do all that stuff. But most importantly, if you have extra to give, please hit the GoFundMe for Blossom and the Ruffins family. Going through a lot. Their goal is $150K. I don't know how much their bills are, but they've gotten 22 racks so far. Whatever you can give, I just, want to put that out there, support the movement. And maybe they'll be able to accommodate this child for, the remainder of her upbringing. Very sad story. Super gremlins that did this have not been caught yet. Street code is in full effect. No snitching. So I don't really expect to see anybody be held accountable for this until they do something else. And we won't even know if they're responsible for this. They might just get caught up living the lifestyle. I think this one is definitely going to turn to a cold case. Thank God that she survived, and prayers out to the family.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.